Hello, I'm Duncan McLean here with notable Hope College alumnus Christine Noe. Christine graduated from Hope with a communication and creative writing degree. Upon graduation, she immediately found opportunity in the field of broadcasting and has branched out far past West Michigan, all the way out to Denver, Colorado. Thanks for being here with me, Christine.
Yeah, I'm so glad to be here.
So let's start with the beginning. During your time at Hope here, was there anything that really sparked the interest in broadcasting? Were you always interested in it? Was it always an aspiration, or was it something that developed while you were here at Hope?
It really wasn't. I came to Hope College with the idea that I was going to go to medical school eventually. My dad's a doctor. My brother is in medical school. It seemed like the natural sort of step to take. But meanwhile, while I was taking courses like biology and, math and all those courses that I wasn't doing very well in, mind you, I was taking creative writing classes that I really enjoyed. And I wish earlier on in my career that I would have really paid attention to that passion, that love for writing. And midway through my college career, I think it was towards the end of my sophomore year, I switched major to communications and said, you know what, I might be better with marketing or public relations or something, but I come from a small town. There wasn't a television station there. I never knew that TV was something that I could do, nor was it something that I ever wanted to do. I was scared to death of public speaking, and in order to take a communication or get a communications degree here, you have to take a public speaking class.
Yeah.
And that really changed a lot for me because it scared me to death. And once I got through that class, I realized, you know what? I can do this. I can do this. And then in one of my classes, my leadership classes, I had to interview someone that I thought was a leader in the community. And so I interviewed one of our local anchors over at WZZM 13 in Grand Rapids. Her name is Catherine Barrett. And while I was interviewing her, little did I know that she was interviewing me. And this was right before Christmas break, senior year. So here I am graduating in about 7 months, no idea what I'm going to do with my life. Didn't even think TV was an option, but was kind of interested, but didn't really know how to get into it. Hadn't taken a single class. I mean, we have this beautiful, studio here at Hope College. I had no idea this was here. And on the spot, she asked me if I would be interested in an internship there. So I came back and spoke with Professor DeWitt Brinks, who was my advisor at the time. And I said, I'm really interested in doing this. And this is what makes Hope College so great, is that because it's a liberal arts school, you get to dabble in every area. You can switch majors halfway through your college career and still be able to pursue a dream. And with no background, she did the due diligence. She called Catherine. She wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to fail. And asked all the right questions. They allowed me to take this internship. And from there, I worked really hard, and it has truly paid off for me. I mean, the stars lined up, but I really credit Hope for giving me that opportunity and allowing me to pursue something that I wanted to do, even if I wasn't ready for it.
It's incredible that something so simple has turned into something that's been so life-changing.
It really has been. I mean, it's been a long, crazy, fun-filled, challenging, almost 8 years now.
So going into this internship with almost no experience, like you said, what were some of the lessons and things that you learned from these professionals that you were working with that have helped you move on into a career in the business?
Well, I learned right away that the business is not as glamorous as it would seem from an outsider's perspective, and how much actually goes into it. A lot of times when you're sitting at home and you're watching TV, you see the makeup and you hear the reporters and you see them standing out, in the storm with the microphone. But how much actually goes on behind the scenes, and all of the information gathering and the due diligence and the connections that you have to make with people and all of this that goes on off camera is equally, if not more important than what you see on camera. And also the digital end. I mean, the industry is changing so rapidly that even when I started in the business 7 years ago, there wasn't the push for the digital side as there is now. Now what goes on the web and with Twitter and Facebook and that kind of thing, it's huge. So when I first started, getting back to your question, I just learned from these reporters and these anchors and these photographers and these editors that the more you know, the more tools that you can put in your toolbox as a journalist, the better that you're going to be. And if you're really willing to work hard and really being open and not resistant to the way that the industry is changing, you're really going to have a much better chance of success.
Interesting. Those are all awesome lessons that like we said, is something that kind of came out of the blue for you.
Yeah.
So going back, you already touched on this a little bit, but going back to your time at Hope, is there anything that you see that came from a liberal arts communication degree that has helped you in the business rather than going to like a trade school or a larger university and getting a specific journalism or broadcasting or even like television broadcasting degree?
Well, I can't speak for the side of going to a college that specifies and has specific areas for journalism or just a journalism school, because I'm sure that I probably would have been much better prepared. But also, with that said, I didn't utilize the resources at Hope because I didn't know that that's what I wanted to go into until I was practically graduated. But it was because of the opportunity and the guidance of my advisors within the communications department at Hope College that allowed me to pursue a dream where that may have not happened otherwise. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But, as Professor DeWitt Brinks was saying earlier, when I went and interviewed Catherine Barrett for this paper, I never heard her say that, but she was like, the interview questions that you asked and the way you presented yourself and your critical thinking and all of these attributes that would be great for a journalist came out when you didn't even realize it. And those were gained here at Hope in classes that I had taken, just through all the communications courses and the creative writing courses. And you don't realize that. I mean, you just know that it instills in you and you keep with it, and then you project that onto, whatever interview you have or whatever conversation you have. And that would be a true testament to, success that I gained here from Hope.
It's a great advertisement for the liberal arts education, dabbling around in anything you can, just developing those personal skills.
Absolutely. I'm so grateful. So grateful that I had that opportunity, and it wasn't an easy ride, to the students that don't know what they want to do, like you can dabble here, I still graduated in 4 years, but it's, I had people that really cared about my education and really wanted to be sure that I was going to succeed. And I know that it was a big chance, I had a conversation with the head of the communication department about this internship. It came up. I wasn't ready, but they said, you know what? If she thinks that she can do this, we have faith in her. And, they did the homework and spoke with whoever, over at the station, and it really panned out beautifully.
So you talk about having to take that chance. You just really need to get yourself out there. So moving down on in your career, you decided to leave Michigan and go to the larger market of Charlotte.
Yeah.
What motivated you to go there? Did you have a job lined up, or was it really just like, I need to take a chance, I need to get out in the world?
I'm an athlete. I've been an athlete since I was a little kid. How do athletes get better? They perform against people that are better than them. And that's always been my mentality. And that's also been why I feel like I've been able to grow as vastly as I have been, because there tend to be a lot of, not a lot, but there are egos in this business. And when you think that you're the best, you have hit a ceiling, because if you think you're the best, you're never going to strive to grow. And I knew after nearly 5 years in Michigan, I had a great foundation. I had worked for this morning show where, I was able to show my love for lifestyles and entertainment and all of that sort of news. Was also a morning reporter, which got the breaking news side. I was a backpack journalist, so I was shooting and writing and editing all my own stuff. I had this basis, and I go, okay, I'm scared, but I'm ready. Scared, but I'm ready. And if you don't take those chances, you're never going to know. And I continue to grow throughout my career. I guarantee that I would have continued to grow in Grand Rapids, but there is a big world out there. There's a big country out there, and there are a lot of television markets that, I would have maybe been better suited for at that point in my career. Took the chance, made the reel, and landed in Charlotte. Was there, yeah, and I grew a ton there. Worked on a morning show there, did the 10 p.m. evening news there, and then it was time to go. And it makes it a little bit easier when you tend to be younger in this business, because your wings are not pinned back. I don't have any children yet. Wasn't married at the time, and was just free as a bird, and could pursue whatever. The sky was the limit. And I still feel that way. And I still learn every day in this business. And I think that in order to succeed, you have to situate yourself. You have to make those situations happen for yourself, but you have to situate yourself in a place where you can grow and thrive and be around people that are going to make you better.
Very cool. Very cool. So, just kind of a fun question to end on.
Yeah.
Christine Noe is not your given name.
It's not.
Many people, you think about the TV name and like things like that. That apparently is a real thing.
It is. Yes, it is. I still love my name, Tara. I was Tara Kuhnlein here at Hope. It's, well, for the majority of my life. Legally, that's what I am. But when I moved to Charlotte, there was already a Tara on our morning show.
That's an issue.
And there was also a Terrence on our morning show that I was joining. So in order to kind of break up, obviously all the names, they said, hey, you need to select a different name. Talk about like what? Like, what do you change your name to?
Yeah.
I've been Tara my whole life. You have your given name. You own it, you love it.
A little attached to it.
Yeah, you're a little attached to it. Yeah. Not going anywhere anytime soon. And I had 2 weeks to decide on something different. Christine is my middle name.
Okay.
So that seemed like the natural fit, and then Noel is a family name. So I basically just went Christine Noel, and that's what we went with. And literally the night before I started on the air in Charlotte at that station, I decided. And the next day I was like, hi, I'm Christine. And let me tell you how weird that felt. But now, how at different points in your life, in high school, maybe your teammates called you something. As a kid, maybe your parents called you something. You have different nicknames. Now it's just, this is that nickname for this professional point in my life. So that's what I answer to. And it's fine. It's fine.
No identity crisis there?
There was. There was a big identity crisis at the beginning. You go to the grocery store and you hear like, hey, Christine, you're like, you're talking to me? But no, I love it and I own it now, and it's very much a part of me as Tara is.
Well, thanks for being here with us.
Yeah.
That was a lot of very helpful information for kids in the program who might want to follow in your footsteps.
Yes, and just a few pieces of advice. Be yourself in this business. Work really hard. Make a reel. Network, and never stop striving to grow. Because there is always a voice that needs to be heard, a story that needs to be told, and a public service that you can do for viewers out there. I truly believe that.
Awesome advice. Thanks again for being here. I'm Duncan McLean with Christine Noe for Hope College.